let's move on to Twitter. And speaking of Trump news, got some major one on Saturday night. Let's put it up there on the screen.
Oh, boy.
So Elon put out a tweet saying, should I reinstate former President Trump? 51.8% voted yes. I actually voted yes.
How many votes did it get, by the way?
So it got 15,085,000 votes. No got 48%. It was actually quite close in terms of everybody who did.
I
went ahead and
abstained
vote
from the
for
Twitter
it.
poll, personally.
People said Elon ended up responding, Vox Populi, Vox Dei, says the people have spoken. Trump will be reinstated. So brought him back by decree. Not only that, but based on a Twitter poll. A lot of people were asking, by the way, and I think this is a fair question. Just, what was it, days ago? He was like, we will have a moderation council.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We will have an independent of left and right. And then it all came down to a Twitter poll. I actually support more the Twitter poll than some fake experts. But anyway,
that's
so
true.
what happened to that?
That is true.
I don't know.
And he made some other decisions too. What he let Kathy Griffin back on, and Babylon Bee and Jordan Peterson.
Yes, but then not Trump, but then Trump an hour later. So I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well,
so I guess the content moderation, because he was very clear. He was like, I'm not going to make any content moderation decisions until we have our council. And he's like, what the hell? Let's let him back on.
If I had to guess, I think so many of the big advertisers who were going to leave have just left anyway at this point. So it's like, screw it. I'm just going to bring back Trump. He's like, this is one of the whole reasons I bought the platform in the first place. So, all right, we'll see how it happens. But the problem is Trump even going to come back or not? Right now, actually at that Republican Jewish event that we were just talking about, he was asked whether he will return to Twitter now that Elon is going to reinstate his account. Here's what he had to say.
What do you think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? And if you are reinstated, will we see you back on Twitter again?
Well, I like that he bought it. I've always liked him. I got along with him very well during my days as president, and I got to know him pretty well. But I do like him. I've always really, he's a character, and I tend to like characters, but he's smart. He did put up a poll, and I hear it's very overwhelming, very strong. But I have something called Trump. If you look, it's Trump-owned, but it's really fantastic. Truth Social. And Truth Social is through the roof. It's doing phenomenally well. The press hates to talk about it, but it's doing phenomenally well. I think engagement is much better than it is with Twitter. Truth Social has been very, very powerful, very, very strong. And I'll be saying that, but I hear we're getting a big vote to also go back on Twitter. I don't see it because I don't see any reason for it.
Well, just so we're all clear, Truth Social is not doing very well. Just remember that they literally lost all their top executives and they had big problems. But from a business perspective,
they're being investigated by the SEC,
currently under
right?
SEC investigation for going public via SPAC. There's a lot to be said just on the business side of Twitter and Truth, in itself. That said, what do we know about Trump? What is his universal, orientation? It is attention. But secondary to that is money. Mm-hmm. So this is the ultimate contest between Trump's twin loves. Now, personally, I think he loves attention more, and he might come back. That said, if he does come back to Twitter, it would nuke any use case for truth in the first place. Mm-hmm. So if he does come back, my belief is that what he will do is link his Truth Social and a Twitter account such that all truths appear on the Truth Social platform first and are then like screenshotted or put out on Twitter itself. At this point, given that he has nearly $1 billion invested in Truth and he has like real financial capital and all that behind it, and also just, a lot of the MAGA faithful who were there in the first place already followed him to Truth.
Yeah.
I'm just not so sure that he does return given the massive amount of monetary investment. I just think it would be such a admission that the entire mission statement behind Truth Social kind of was a farce in the first place. The moment that Elon bought Twitter, he essentially nuked the use case for Gab, for Truth, for Parler, for so many of these other Mastodon, this current lib project out there. Many of the so-called decentralized networks. The central value proposition they had to a user was this is uncensored. And it's like, well, look, it remains to be seen what exactly Elon is going to do. I guess I'll save my commentary on that for the next part of this segment because I think it's completely ridiculous, really, what he's gone ahead and invented. But on the Trump one on his face, I don't see him coming back anytime soon. Although it could be totally wrong. I'm curious what you think.
I don't know. I was more inclined to think he won't be able to resist the attention because, he just does not. And we know previously he was like complaining about how the things that he does over on Truth Social and like his little statements that he puts out and whatever, that they don't get as much media attention. And so I don't know that he'll be able to resist. He was the poster in chief Twitter was really where he would do his greatest work at owning the libs and triggering the media. And I think if he is going to, I mean, he's running for president again. I think if he's going to garner the media attention that he loves, the outrage, panic cycle 24 hours a day, I think he's probably going to have to come back over to Twitter. So ultimately, I suspect he'll show back up, but I don't know. I mean, like you said, you do have a sort of competition between the love of attention and the money here going on, and it's hard to know what will win out in his mind. But I still think, I thought Richard Hanania made a good point about how Twitter also kept him a little bit more, I mean, Twitter is not real life, but Twitter is a little bit closer to real life than truth is ultimately, and it kept him a little bit more in touch with what like normal human beings actually think about things. So I think it would probably be a benefit to him and his political positioning if he did come back over. Obviously, like I'm not excited to have Trump back on Twitter, but I do think it was the right decision, and we've spoken about that a lot of times on this program ultimately. And now is the time that makes sense to do it too. Now that he's announced that he's running for president again, like you're really going to keep one of the two major parties, like major potential nominees, off of a central elite-dominated platform. I don't think that's really sustainable, especially when you consider some of the people who are allowed to be on Twitter. Like, it never made any sense.
Absolutely correct. And also, now that I'm talking with you, I think there's a possible third way. It could be that the Trump account just becomes a more traditional campaign account where they tweet out links for fundraising and all that, and his actual musings are then left to Truth Social.
To Truth.
So he'll like keep his, personal opinions on Truth, but use the Trump Twitter account like they have right now, like the GOP War Room, where they tweet out clips of Biden, that type of stuff. The Trump account used to be a mix of those two, and now could just be that one. Again, look, I have no clue how it will all go, but he hasn't come back so far. I do think that is somewhat of an indication. His son Trump Jr. has been posting memes saying, "I think he still sticks with Truth, but who knows?" So him also keeping it. I think it will come down to a whim decision. Like, at the end of the day, if he suffers from an attention perspective when he's running for president, I do think he will ultimately return. But I think there's interesting ways that he could try and work around that. So it could be on a timescale too.
I could very much see us getting just out of the blue some kind of 2 a.m. Trump tweet about whatever, the special counsel, the witch hunt, who knows, the stolen election. It could be anything. So I don't know. I have a hard time imagining him being disciplined enough to stay away from his favorite platform.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.